And we are live coming from the dirty South, Winston-Salem, North Kakalaki. Watching this game, 10-0, very sloppy game. I think I might have put the wrong time down. I might have put down my old time of 8 o'clock when I was setting this up. Busy weekend, a lot going on for me. Just was not smart. Haven't been feeling well, haven't been sleeping well, all the above. Feeling better tonight, though. Watching the Dallas game, just right now, just very sloppy on both sides. A lot of penalties already. The Dallas Seattle game was almost unwatchable last week because of the penalties. So again, sorry if I put down the wrong time. I noticed when I got on, it already said I was 0 time, so I'm sure I put the wrong time down without looking. Probably be going solo the whole time tonight. I sent out a thing to my friend group, text thread if any of them want to come on, just chit chat tonight with me. Because a couple of things might have happened around the league. Me and my dad will talk about the baseball side of things tomorrow. But first off, I want to touch on the hobby world. The Babe Ruth auction. My man Eric last week hit it on the nose. 7.2 million it went for. I'm not surprised, and it's a head scratcher. I don't know what it's like to have enough money to just spend 7.2 million on a card, or I employ everybody to go out and watch Victor, the rookie card specialist video released today. I might put it in the description of this video after I'm done if I think about it. He made remarks of what I have been thinking about it when I first found out about it. It's not a card. At best, it's a picture on a, I know people that have gotten schedules graded. It's not a new thing. It's been around for a while. It's a very old picture. It's our first picture. It was called a rookie card. It's not rookie. It's him in the minor leagues. So a lot of issues with it. But again, 7.2 million for a very rare Babe Ruth card. Man, I can't hate it. To me, it's a lot of money. I just can't. It's hard for me to see that. And go, yeah, I would pay 7.2. If I won $400 million tomorrow, I would not pay $7.2 million for a card. It's not going to happen. I think we still have to think about comma cards. I would think I would be in the same mindset that I am now when I'm purchasing. But to continue on, the next thing I can't fathom is $700 million, which went to Shohei Ohtani for a DH. Yes, a DH because he's hurt. He can't pitch. So you're paying that much because we don't know if he'll pitch again. The Dodgers, which need pitching, but in our world, yes, Zach, I thought he did a great job. Victor did a good job. It's puzzling. If I hit a Powerball, there's a lot of cards I'm buying before that one. Yes, sir, me too. I know Babe Ruth is a great, and yes, I wouldn't mind having a Babe Ruth, but there's other cards I'd rather have in my possession before the Babe Ruth. I've talked about that before. That contract may break baseball. I just don't know if we're going to see another one like that. I don't know if he's anything less than one of the greatest hitters of all time. I don't know if that contract, and he's starting out as it, but let's see if he owns up to it. And I I hope he does. It'll be good for the game. I just wish he wasn't a Dodger. Uh, I want to see what in our world now, what does his cards do? Because a lot of times people will see that contract. He hasn't changed since the last day of the season, right? So is that going to make his card prices crazy? I haven't looked today on eBay, but I'm almost positive it will. Just that's the environment we're in. Um, and him going to Dodger blue instead of California Angels red, or LA of Anaheim, whatever they're called. It's just, that Dodger bump. And who else is getting a bump? Juan Soto, the forgotten man. Juan Soto gets traded back to the East Coast for the Yankees. They're renting him for 1 year. He will be a free agent. And the way it sounds, he wants to go into free agency. So we'll watch that, see how that goes this year. I'm interested to see how he hits in Yankee Stadium with that short right field porch. I mean, everybody knows it. Yankee fans, it's just part of the stadium. San Diego, you have to hit legit bombs. He'll get some fly balls that land 2-3 rows up this year at home games. They're going to be left-handed heavy, but this is a guy that got forgotten about in San Diego. His cards just plummeted. He started off the year slow, but if you didn't see Wesker Griff's last video, which, hey, he talks about it, he didn't have such a bad year. When you look at his final numbers, second half of the year, him and Tatis tore it up in the second half. The Padres just dug themselves into a hole where they ran out of games to catch up. They had another week or two, they would have caught up. What's up, 357? Otani, I feel like it's about the revenue he's going to bring on to the team. World Series doesn't decide if that's a good or a bad deal necessarily. Not a big baseball fan. That's just how I see it. Well, my dad touches on this. So he is estimated to bring in $200 million a year to the Dodger organization. So paying out $70 million is probably not a big deal when you look at that. Cube Hot Dog, what's up, brother? It's, nice for you to come over. Check us out. I love the name Cubed Hot Dog. I would love to know what that pertains to, if we could. I think a spam, but it'd be great to know. Or chopped up bologna. Yeah, and go Cowboys. I should have had my Cowboys hat on, but a lot of stuff going on in baseball. Their Eagles kicking for the tie. They did fake a punt. So 10-10. At least it wasn't a lot of penalties on that drive, but clean drive for the Eagles and Cowboys defense. Zach Pierce, exactly on paper, he's produces at about 20 to 30% of contract offensively. Yeah, and I just feel like he transcends the American game where he is worldwide. They said that people in Japan stayed up for him for this announcement. It's huge. He's worldwide. He transcends America. He's bigger than our sport. It's hard for me to say he deserves that money. You have to kind of not think of it as so hard as money's making, but it is just he's top paid. And is he playing? It's just hard for me for a guy that DHs to say he's worth the top paycheck in the game. Honestly, I was 15. I bought a PlayStation and needed a name, and somehow this is the first thing that came to mind. Well, yeah, that sounds like a 15-year-old. Yep. I had Diesel at that time. When I ran the bases, everybody made the truck noise. Then I moved on to Big Scott when I got older, because when I started in the working field, it was always going to be two Scotts, a big Scott and a little Scott. So 200 million, that's a no-brainer. And then I don't think the average fans really understands how that they make that off a player. Well, yeah. So again, if you watch it, my dad kind of breaks it down. So anything that has Dodger paraphernalia on it, Dodgers get a cut, right? So jerseys, hats, MLB, if guys are watching the MLB package like in Japan and they get to see the Dodger games, that helps the Dodgers. Ads, uh you know that they're going to want ads all over that field. Ohtani already does a New Balance commercial. If you notice in the New Balance commercial, he's not wearing a team uniform or anything. I thought about that last night. I think they said in the past year he made like 20 million off of just ad revenue, like for himself. I just you gotta, because he transcends the American part of the game. I mean, if Fanatics doesn't have him as on their Series 1 poster boy, I don't know. That's just he's begging. Pepino Man is going to be go broke buying all kinds of Showtime swag. Shoot, he gets to stand in the dugout. I have a picture of him in the dugout, for a Kershaw night that there. So he does a lot around that. So he'll see him up close. I make $2 turning pop cans. You're right, Henry. That's why I cannot. My dad, I was like, it's so hard because we work for every dollar. We see every dollar. I mean, yes, Ohtani probably has a team that he pays with 700. So I guess it's going to be back ended, and I guess he's going to get paid further out than 10 years. Yeah, Amari, that was the other thing. My dad said he's going to make $700 million, but he'll probably only see about $30 of it living in California. Because when Toronto came in the mix, Toronto's worse. Canada's worse when it. Well, I mean, they got a lot of benefits for that, and they do in California as well if you have children. But yes, you get smoked on taxes. When Toronto was talking, I was like, man, I just, because that's one of the issues with with any team in any sport. I know the Toronto Raptors that used to have issues. I don't know if they do anymore. Basketball, the hockey guys are kind of used to it. But when it comes to the other sports, it has come up in the past where that and I mean, all this stuff where he was on a plane going to Toronto, and it just tells me don't listen to anything that's happening in the media right now. They came out this week. I sent a post on my friend thread about it's 100% that Trout is staying in California with the Angels. So I guess that's a 50-50 chance now. Yeah, Canada does not have a penny. I wouldn't mind if we didn't have the penny. I'm interested to see what his cards do. Now, with the Dodgers and the Yankees made two big moves this week. Here's my question to the class and anybody that watches this in the future. I can't stand either one of those teams, so I won't actively collect Ohtani or Soto now because I will not buy a Dodger or Yank. Now, if they were rookies, that'd be different. I get a rookie card. I got a Volpe card. I have, Will Smith and Outman for the Dodgers. But now I just can't do that. The jock tax is probably one of the most unfair tax laws in the book. Yeah, and their game checks, from my understanding, whatever. So they got to pay like every state that they play in. Yeah, Clay. So you're with me. I just find it's going to be hard. I love Juan Soto. I collect him. It's not something I talk a lot about. Uh, I just, uh, it's just one of those quiet ones, especially when I go to shows and I can't believe how cheap his cards have gotten. Um, I still can't go after the big boys. And if you watch my Saturday talk chat, or I talk about, you know, really going after stuff cheaper and how to do that and still have fun with the hobby. The hobby's not all about the biggest cards to everyone. It is not to me. I find um, just pretty cards are things I love. Uh, so Carlos from Because I'm Carlos made me laugh Friday. He said there was absolutely no way he was going to Toronto. Yeah, are you going to apologize to Red Bar? I have no idea. Zing Tao. Bio tiny cards today. That would be silly. At the moment, I agree. Like I said, there's going to be a Dodger tax. You have to think he's not playing with the Angels. So going to the Dodgers, even if he's Angel uniform, you're looking at like rookie cards or whatever. Um, you know, and here's my other question. So, he has his flagship rookie is him pitching. His other one, I believe, is him hitting. Even his debut card, I think, is him hitting. What card would y'all rather have? Because I don't know how much pitching you're going to see him do here in the future. Saw your ComC video. Every time I get like 100 card order, shipping is like $30 and estimated delivery. It's like a month and a half I'm using the site wrong, or is that just a downside to ComC? No, I hear you, and that's why I hold on to my cards, because let me tell you, till I get like 100 cards, because that $30 doesn't really change. It doesn't matter how many cards you get. Yeah, and that's the ComC downside. I'm hoping the influx of money from eBay might help. If you're going to buy one or two cards with ComC, you might want to check eBay. You're going to pay a little bit more because of the eBay fees, but you get the card. This is the crazy. You buy off of eBay a ComC card, you get it within a week. It's less than 7 days. If you buy it from ComC, just sit back and wait. If you're flipping, you can flip it on ComC. But if you want it for your collection, you're just gonna have to wait. ComC tried to tell me shipping was $100 or $5, no choice. So I did $5 with Christmas gifts arriving next year. Yeah, ComC is not perfect, and I don't use it that often. I've done 2 bigger orders. I sent cards to them to sell. It just didn't work out for me. I got them back. I had to pay for shipping back to me. It's tough. It's really tough. I know some people that do very well on it. I just haven't. I need to get with somebody and go through it. Love to sit down with somebody like Because I'm Carlos. I know he does well on there. Triple Crown does well on there. I think Victor does well on there. It just, to me, I have to figure out where the dollars make sense. Sending it in, waiting, then you have to post all the prices, and then this, that, and the other. So, Shohei upcoming season may mirror Bryce Harper's season this year. If that's the case, the Angels have got a good deal. And that's the other thing. Even with his surgery, is he going to be able to start the season? Even, with the ligament, a lot of people don't understand ComC model. They weren't built to buy a card today, get it in 3 days like eBay. Just not their model. It's different. You're exactly right. But in our society today, we have TikToks, and now we got YouTube shorts and quick video games, and it's just hard in this day and age to think, getting stuff in 3 days, 4 days. I am still waiting on an order from PSA that's 13 months but I got to order it back this week, and you'll see Wednesday uh, that took a month door to door. So it was 4 cards. I got the 5th card, and that's PSA. See, they all had their issues. So PSA is a little bit more, but because I sent a card that was in 1979, I had to do 2 separate shippings, and I could ship them together, but to ship them back, I have to pay for 2 shipments back to me. I find that to be bullshit, ludicrous. Just to me, that's a money grab. It doesn't cost $25 to ship a card. Been using ComC since 2015. I've had cards I bought 2 years ago still there. Is that because you're flipping them there, Zach, or you're just holding on to them until you get enough to feel like to get them shipped to you? He should be cleared to hit 6-7 months post surgery, but return to competitive pitching about 12 months. Yeah, I don't see him pitching next year. So 6 to 7 months. What's that, like June? Henry, I have over 150 cards being shipped to me. Right. Does anyone here use? I talked about eBay and how to. Way I do things is look to see what's ending. Try to snipe some cheap, really cheap bids. Offers. Trying to see anybody that started out like 99 cents on an auction or something they probably shouldn't have. I like to do that, and I put in low bids. If I don't win, it's not no sweat off of me, and I just move on to the next one. But sport lots. Does anybody here have any of y'all? I use sport lots quite a bit. What's up, Gary? Great, man. That was some cool thing you did with Mike. So anybody here use sport lots at all? I like sport lots. Home an 18-cent card. It's how I did a lot of filling my flagship with the with flagship Mets that I have. I like sports lots, but wish it was a little bit. Yeah, and Cubed. I think the reason is because they don't ask a lot. They don't hit you up. I sell on there as well. I'm making $1 million, 20 cents at a time. They don't really, if you keep your money on there, they don't take a lot out of it. Not really, just hold them. I'm weird, may eventually sell some. Every time I go to ship them to me, I end up buying one more and then about adding 5 money to buy a couple others. Yeah. Never used sports lot yet. Yeah, it once you learn your navigation and some shortcuts, I find it's easier to look for a player. You got to spell it correctly. I tried joining sport lots. I had locked up in the joining process and kicked me out. Victor Negron cards. I use sport lots for straight up buying. Don't do the auction type stuff. And I actually picked up a couple of cheaper King Griffey Jr. cards that were like old school SGC flips on them. I got them good and cheap off of there. I just find sport lots to me just not. It's not the easiest thing to use. I agree. And you just got to stick with it when you're putting cards on there. The good thing is you don't really need to put a lot of pictures. The higher end stuff, like I was showing, a guy had $150 card on there. He's trying to sell with no picture. Good luck with that. It also looks shady when you do it like that. It is a good way to get cheaper cards. And I can sell a bunch of 20-cent cards and save up to get me one of those autograph cards to fill in my David Wrights or whatever. They do have some vintage on there, but the vintage is going to be very beat up and very it's going to be backfilling like you're trying to do a set or something like that. Yeah, Victor, it is. It is. Speaking of binders, um, Mike Fabian, East Coast Collections or Collectibles, he did a video today talking about he's got something with top loaders that fit into sleeves for a binder. I'm curious when he does a video for that. I hit him up today, make sure that he's going to do one. I think he's going to do a Jeter. Maybe it's just me, but I will spend hours just trying to find a bestseller that has a majority of cards I want. I do the same thing, Q. I actually have a list of some that I do for my Mets cards, a couple of mental guys. I try to find the ones that have better shipping. Because that's the thing on there is you want to buy multiple cards from one guy for shipping. That's you can also do bin shipping, so you ship them all to a bin there, and then they ship them to you. If you think that's cheaper, I don't find where it's cheaper unless you're in Canada. That it's cheaper for you for Canada to do that. But Sport Lots to me, and there's a few other ones that I go on every once in a while. Was it Four Sharp Corners? For a lot of slabs. There's other ones popping up all the time. I have cards no one wants. Henry, that's the way I feel too. I definitely feel the same way. I'm very, I don't know. The big dollar cards, I talked about it last week. I don't understand. To me, I picked up a $20 auto of David Wright, right? On card auto, same auto I have on the other 50 David Wrights. And that's by far the cheapest one I got. So why did I pay $250 for one with the same autograph on it? It's a pretty card, don't get me wrong, but it's a $200 difference, $230 difference. It just made me start thinking about things like that. Especially right now in my adulting life, I'm trying to get ahead of the game on the curve. I talked about this yesterday. Not putting myself in a bad situation, trying to pay off last year's trips for next year's trips. Also trying to, bought a car, had to get a loan for that, and just trying to move to a better area closer to work. A lot of stuff going on, and you don't want to be caught with no money in the pocket. Also, I say this year I am not touching my savings. I used to go in and take some out to go to shows. I'm not doing that this year. And I'm going to a show next weekend. I went to Salem. I think there's like 350 tables, but it's toys as well. I talked about it before. I do collect video games, and I do collect some toys. I am a 12-year-old. I'm in a 52-year-old fat man's body. So that type of thing. And I find collecting a little bit of other stuff too keeps my mind where I'm not feeling like this is a job. I've talked about it. I don't understand burnout. I have fun doing this, but I do like to I have other interests as well, not just cards. And being a single guy kind of lets me do that. To be honest, I know that for a fact. If I wasn't single, which I've had issues in the past where a lot of things got, I had to slow down, stop, redo things. I think we've all been in that boat. So I think we all know that. Let's see what else this week. Baseball, lots of football, full swing. After Thanksgiving, between Christmas, it's kind of the holiday rush. I know a lot of people are spending money on gifts and stuff. Are we finding ourselves slowing down, or I just got an honest conversation. What's up, Stooks? How you doing tonight, brother? Are we finding ourselves slowing down in the hobby world right now? I don't know. I see a lot of channels still making very good content. I see people still doing some, slow. maybe slowing down or not showing as much stuff, but still showing stuff. Uh, you know, still, I mean, Hobby Shop's still putting out stuff. Uh, I'm opening up some 22 Tops Chrome anniversary, platinum anniversary right now. I love that stuff. Just fun to open. Also, Tops Chrome Star Wars. This is my favorite so far. Star Wars product. I know not a lot of people dig the Star Wars, but again, other things. Are we finding ourselves like, we're okay with the holiday season? Keep on going. I'm seeing way fewer TTM videos. I have saw a slowdown of that for the last 5 or 6 years, Henry. I have a stack over here of cards. I have not done one since my early 20s. I sent a letter with cards to John Crook, but it was because he married kind of into my family, married into my uncle's wife's family, my mom's brother wife. He married into that family, and through her, I got to send a letter to him and got a stack. If you ever see any, I've gotten those authenticated. You have any orders out with Mike O? I do have a SGC order with some Batman cards. I can't remember if I got any baseball in that one. I have 3 orders at PSA with Triple Crown. Just drove back from Dallas area, 2 days, 14 hours back to Minnesota, and a good internet connection. Yeah, but are y'all getting hit with snow up there? Just picked out a Christmas tree. Pretty sure I just paid a Jim Mint price for a VGX tree. I saw somebody with 3 trees on their hood battery last week going down the highway. I was like, oh, man, that's a lot of needles. I received a few TTMs this past few months. I just never show them on YouTube. Yes, I follow somebody on Instagram. Y'all probably do too. Scotty, he does a lot. Scotty something. TTMs. He gets them all the time. He's probably the best one. Yeah, 23. Stooks, I lived in northern Iowa. I lived about 2 hours south of Minnesota. It's like 30, 35, 30, 40 minutes from the Minnesota border. In Iowa there for 8 years. So I feel your pain, brother. Winston-Salem, 70 degrees here. I had something on my mind I wanted to bring up. Oh, the battery, you should buy a reprint tree. Looks just as good and much cheaper over time. I know a channel that likes to sell the reprints, but I digress. Battery, while you're on here, hit me up on somewhere if you're interested in a 9 in this Ronald Acuna I got back. I was thinking of you when I got that back from PSA. I don't know if you have that one or not. We can talk. Spent a lot of summers in Nassau, Minnesota. Caleb is trying to bring the TTMs back with Battle of the Decades contest. All right. Nisswa, okay. Yeah, there was a young man that used to go to I used to like his videos. He used to go to a lot of minor league ballparks, and he would have just tons of like Bowmans that he would get. Stukes, my sister lives in Rochester, Minnesota. Yeah, and I did learn early on if you had the chromes, you had to do the old eraser to make it easier for the autograph to look better on the card, get that gloss off. How many of y'all remember that it was sacrilege to get, high dollar cards, rookie cards, auto? Now it's a common thing. I've talked about that too on here a couple of times. Um, and that's not been a long time ago. Man, how things changed when it became more and more common of the pack pulled autos and the rookie auto and the rookie RPAs. You know, it's just man, Hurts is getting Dallas is just missing him, but man, he's getting beat up tonight, which is not a bad thing. Eagles getting ready to kick a field goal, make it 17-6 if it's good. Ooh, he snuck it in. So 17-6 with a minute 48 left in the second quarter. Glad I'm doing this with y'all so I don't get as upset. I do not like the Eagles one bit. So I have a great eBay seller that does sign Bowmans, etc. for $1 or $2 cheaper than buying a one card. Yeah. The on card. I got you. Yeah, that people used to say it's fine to get the autograph on the card, but the number of people wanting the autograph was less back in the day. I can see that. I used to go to ball games and you get baseball signed, hats, anything you had. Every once in a while, I used to take cards to the old Richmond Braves games, and that was pretty cool because they were AAA affiliate, so you got to see a lot of the major leaguers or once major leaguers or guys on the cusp, a lot of 4A players there. So you had major league cards. Now this was before the day of Bowman, so I have a couple that I've gotten signed at Braves. Didn't ever get any of the big Braves that it went on to be greats with the Braves. I mean, I saw them play. I just didn't get the cards signed, like Chipper and Avery and Glavin, Schmaltz. What else? Mark Waller's huge man. Klesko. I saw all those guys play down there. I've seen Dion play down there. Fun town. Now in Richmond, they have the AA affiliate of the Giants. I did see Brandon Belt and Crawford play there with them. I have the Dash here, which is the high single A affiliate of the White Sox. So I don't know if y'all know this. This is interesting. In the minor leagues now, in AA, and I think down, I don't think they're doing this at AAA, but now a team will come and play, 4 to 8 games, 7 games in a town at one time, cutting down on travel expenses, trying to get more players, more dollars in the players' hands is what we're talking. So that's good for them. It's a really nice stadium here too. Any shows in y'all's areas? Like I said, there was one this weekend in Raleigh. I hate to say it, but I'm gonna have to watch Sports Card Dad. I'm sure he went to it. It's in his backyard there. It was a lot of tables. It was an arena, but they had a lot of tables in there, and I don't know how conducive it was for a good time. Winston-Salem, like I said, this week, 350 at the fairgrounds here in town, right across the street. It's right in the middle where you have Wake Forest baseball field, football field, and basketball stadium. Interested to go see that. Last time it was really good. A lot of tables. Last time though, it wasn't very busy. I hope it's good for the dealers. I don't know. I'm not really looking for much. I'm not going to take a lot of money. Do my $200 maybe and do a lot of box stuff. I always walk around, see if there's 1 or 2 cards that is worth my money, that fits my PC, and I'll get just 1 or 2 cards. But if not, then I'll start box diving for the PC. Still, I'm trying to narrow down what I collect. And I've been really this summer narrowing down, purging my collection down, uh, just trying to focus more. I mean, I think a lot of you guys are, around my age, close enough. But, when you were growing up, was it just you tried to collect everything? I mean, I grew up with Tops and then Tops Fleer and Don Ross. It was no big deal to try to buy cards from all the sets as much as you could and buy multiple sports and uh, pop culture cards. I mean, they were only a quarter, and it was just, uh, I don't know, it was just fun. You didn't have to pick and choose. I didn't have a high end until later on in life when Upper Deck came along, and that was what, $1.99, $2.99 a pack. That's when it got started getting crazy. Fleer Ultra and all that stuff. So me and you say, man, Big Scott, 52, man. I've been October, turned 52. We have a monthly club show coming up Saturday, 58 tables. Been going 48 years. I've been going 32 of those years, not every show, but several years. Is that the show in Burlington, I think is the name of it? Right outside the cities, Stuke? Yeah, happy birthday. Oh, Bink Scott, November. Happy birthday. Stuke, because I think I know what club that is, and I used to go to that club show too. Bloomington. There you go. Are they still doing it in that shopping center in that hallway almost? It. I know they used to try to get a storefront and try to do something in there. It would get crowded in there, but I really liked it because that was definitely collectors for collectors. I mean, there was a lot of guys that would open up cases, and I used to do. Oh, it's at the Bloomington Armory now. Okay, so you got more space in there. And when I went before COVID, I want to say it was in a mall shopping center, uh, or it was weird how it was. You walked into a hallway and then into the mall, or to a strip mall. It's cold up there. They try to get you inside as much as possible. Uh, yeah, I used to go up there in a couple hours, and I went to another mall show in Minnesota as well. Moved last year. Okay, okay. Are you part of that group, Stu? I think they're like Minnesota baseball collectors or something like that. Are you part of that club? Because I really liked that show, even though it was a lot of Homer stuff, a lot of Minnesota stuff, but there was a couple of older gentlemen that did old school. You could tell they opened cases and sold the singles. And I used to just rake up with my PC. I mean, and there were guys that would make boxes. I'm a club member, Twin City Sports Collectors Club. Okay, okay. Uh, there and you could tell he would make boxes. And when Pete came up in 2019, nobody knew who it was, and I raked up on some cards there. That and Austin Riley. The guy, after he saw he wanted to kind of try to change prices, and I was like, "Well, I got them from here. If you're gonna move them to another box after the fact." But he started laughing and sold them to me. So uh, I that's when you're got a team that you really follow, you can kind of track on stuff like that. How would you spend $1,000 worth of buybacks? LOL. Honestly, if it was $1,000 in cash, I'd put it in a bank and wait till the national. I like to, and this is why I like to go to a national, and I like to buy my comma cards there. That's when I buy my vintage. Um, to just say, hey, I got this at the national, more or less. I mean, I could buy those cards at any show or off of eBay, but you go to the national. I kind of want to have something to go. I went to the national, and this is what I got. I've gotten my Johnny Bench rookie at a national. I got my first Bryce Harper auto, my Ken Griffey auto, uh, Clemente rookie, uh, uh, my 53 Satchel, my rookie Gretzky. I just like to purchase stuff like that. Is that a suitable answer, Murray? I don't know. I would probably put it in, probably get me a comma card, but something that's on my grail list because it's more than $500. So I know a lot of people are taking that money and buying a case of something else that came out at the same time. I don't know what they were buying. I have an Otani X Fractor. What's up, JD? JD, what's the name of that one site that you go to for buying and selling cards and trading? I have it on my list. I can look it up, but since you're here, talking about cheap ways to do things, you've been doing. JD's been doing a lot of trading. There's nothing cheaper than doing trading. There's not a dollar. You trade. It sounds like he does more equal trades. Cards for cards. That's always a good way to add to your PC if you got extra cards to enter. MyCardPost.com. Okay. Just throwing that out there for y'all. That's another site. Newer site, but they do card trading site and also buying and selling as well. It's an interesting concept. I think more and more people are probably going into that direction because trade nights are so huge. Ooh, Dallas 1-inch yard line, less than 30 seconds, and McCarthy knows how to call timeouts. Congratulations. Probably this is very hockey heavy, but it's good. Yeah, hockey. It is hockey season, JD. I know your Bruins are doing well, so you should be happy. Anything else out there before we go? I know I'm one-man show, so it might be some babbling and just talking to the choir here, but I love to do this. This is how it started. Let's talk, just to get on here, air some things out. Started having guests on, so that's why I started doing my Saturday show. If I wanted to air things out, I don't have somebody else that is connected to that. It's just me. That's why I kind of started that. But also did it as well to share how I hobby, not showing what I've gotten in or talking about, showing question for you. Okay, shoot. I hope it's personal, not something that, don't ask me the square root of whatever. How many years until a Tiny's contract is terrible? I was talking about that the earliest, JD. If he's just DH him, he's going to have to be one of the best hitters in the game, right? But just like we were talking about too, it's estimated because he's there with the Dodgers and he is internationally known. When I pick up the microphone, that he's going to bring an estimated like $200 million a year to the franchise. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate that. So to the Dodgers, the contract, as long as he plays well and he's, the Japanese are out there buying the stuff and Americans love him as well. That's two continents that are buying his stuff. I mean, all of Asia is hyped on this guy. I mean, you got 2 or 3. My dad was talking about today. There's another Japanese player that's begging his team to put him out there before Friday. Dodgers print money. I don't think they can lose. But the Dodgers' problem is they need pitching, and I don't know. I guess Otani go out and get some players. And the concept is to sign a player long term like that, JD, is because yes, it's a lot of money now, but that contract in 6 or 7 years will look is supposed to look like you signed a player 6 years ago for year ago money, right? That's way Machado and Bryce Harper's contracts look now. Looks like the team got a friendly deal. Uh, but and it's not. I mean, they're still. Uh, what does that mean for Kirk? I thought he did sign Amari. I thought he did come back. I could be very wrong. Um, I, I'm sure he's got an open contract with them, not for any money, but he this has got to be his last year. It has to be, I would think. Uh, I don't. He needs to win a World Series to put that crown, that topper on the cake, right? I mean, he's the reverse Bumgarner. Awesome regular season, doesn't show up for the playoffs. He needs to get that monkey off his back. I know Otani wants a World Series the way he's talking. You know, we got. So what I was saying was, there's three guys coming over from potentially. We got two that's on the list, one that's trying to get on the list, and we have a hitter from Korea for the KBO that's on the list as well. And I guess Korea is kind of like they put that as the same as high double A, triple A in this country. So when they look at him, he's a 300 plus with probably 15 to 20 home runs, great speed, great outfielder. And he's young, early 20s. He started playing when he was 18 over there, and playing, I think he played in their minor leagues for 1 year, which is like the industrial leagues, not even 1 year. And then he came up. So it's interesting. It's now, like we were talking today, the Soto trade is done. The Otani thing is done. Now everything else can get started. All the signings, the bigger Montgomery and some of these other guys waiting to see where the pieces fall. Now we can start seeing what's going on. It's going to be very interesting to go on. I don't think that kid from Japan could be posted though. Yeah, and from what it sounds is the team that has his rights still had 3 years on him, and they're thinking that they don't want to give him up because they're going to win a championship. Me and a friend was debating if Verlander has enough left in the tank to be the last 300 game winner. I don't think so. I don't think I'll doubt if he gets 20 starts this year coming up. Just he pitched one great game in the playoffs. The other ones were kind of mediocre. Yeah, I know, JD. And don't ask me what they are. I'm still learning about Rule 5 draft, where you have one draft for MLB. Because let's talk about this for a second. This was an interesting thing for you Yankee fans. I don't know how you feel about this, but you Yankee fans, y'all got raped in this last couple of weeks for your minor leaguers. You lost two of your prospect pitchers and a catcher and one other player to the Padres for Juan Soto. You lost your number 14 prospect, which was a pitcher in the Rule 5 draft. And I think you lost 3 to 4 more pitchers in the Rule 5 minor league draft. So halftime 24-6 Dallas. 43 wins, I believe, for Verlander. So that's a tough pill. They used to lose them because of trades. They've been trying to build their minor league system up. They want to win now. You got Soto for 1 year, and Soto says he wants to be a free agent. So we still got Belly interested to see where he lands. Right. You're that he had a great season last year. comeback player of the year. I knew that was going to happen. I kind of felt the best when he went to Chicago and he bet on himself, right? 1 year deal. That was a good move for him. Something changed for him in LA, and it might have been LA itself. I mean, the city of lights, man. The doors, bro. It's just I just think, going to Chicago really woke him up. Blue collar city, hard work ethic. Not saying it's not like that in LA. I'm not trying to put down LA at all, but just how it's perceived in the bleacher crowd. It's a different monster. The guys the fans are there early and stay late. Um, so at Chicago, I think really helped him. I guess the Dodgers did pick up their another outfielder too. What's his face came back to him. There's a chance they get returned to the Yankees. Rule 5 players have to spend the entire year on a big league roster, I believe. Yes, Omari. So they can return them. The one I was reading about the minor leaguers. The minor leaguer, because there's 2 different Rule 5 drafts. I need to reread this. So the minor leaguers can stay in the minors and they don't have to be on a 40-man roster. It was weird how it is, but I think they have to play higher. I was kind of like trying to figure out what was going on there. The Rule 5, yes, if they don't stick it out, they could go back, or because if they can't move them back down there once they're on the 40-man or in the big league roster. And I mean, most of the time it sticks out. It's just not space on the 40-man roster, so they're not protected. A couple of teams are just so loaded, or they have to pick and choose. If they probably really would rather like to got that trade done before the Rule 5 draft, but it didn't. Big Sky just saw the Capitals beat my Blackhawks. Not sure if you ever shown your Ovechkin rookie card. LOL. I do have a Ovechkin. It's not the rookie card, but I have a rookie card. It's one I can afford. That's on my list of cards. If I had $1,000, that'd be like something to go to. I do have I did before the boom. I did get a Ovechkin auto. It's right behind me. But yeah, he's at Chantilly most summer shows. He's most of the time there. Or no, I take it fall shows. If they're one of the 3 days, he usually is there autoing. I was not going to pay that rent, so I ended up paying a third. I would love to meet him, but meeting him, shaking his hand for that amount didn't make sense to me. So I bought one. But after they won the championship, I would love for him to sign him on Sports Illustrated. He's on the cover. The Blackhawks, man, they got that rookie kid, Bedard, the darling right now. 19-year-old, I think he is. So Blackhawks will be back. They'll be back. They got a good start building blocks. Yeah, I turned the Chiefs game off today. I'm not a Chiefs fan. Oh, the dude was offsides. Can't cheat, man. Yeah, Mahomes is mad. It was a good call. I saw Mahomes was mad and other thing. Frustration showing on that team. They're not as good as much as the NFL wants the rematch. I don't think it's going to happen. The 49ers in the NFC. I'm interested to see what we're going to have to wait till Tuesday for Brad's talk this week on the week of football, because Dolphins play Monday night. So if there's not anything else, I will probably call it a night here. Going lone, old school. I haven't done this in a while. I still got the gift, brother. I could gab with the best of them. Yeah, later, JD. Thanks for coming on. And that'll be it for me tonight. Please, if you haven't checked out me and my dad, tomorrow, my dad and I do a weekly baseball where we just shoot the S, and my dad is very, very passionate about the sport. He's passionate about all sports, but baseball's our sport. Uh, if y'all will, give it a look. I would be much appreciated. And hit the like button for me. And if you would tonight, hit the like button. And till next time. And I just want to say thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you for new people tonight, like Cubed Hot Dog. I have not seen you over here. You might lurk. And thank you to the lurkers. I am perfectly okay with that as well. So until next time, see ya.